Good morning, everybody. Had to do a quick video today. Hey, Ashley, I'm gonna put the link in the chat there, and you can jump on in. There you go. You can jump on in. And there's my feed. All right. So, happy times. Are there any? Are there any happy times? It makes you wonder. We we enter these holidays, which, when you think back, when I was a kid, and even into teenage years, and once I had kids, till they got to a certain age, holidays were fun. Wake and bake with you guys, but the crazy thing, we did the tree, decorated the house, did all that. And now these days, I'm like, oh, no thanks. Got no interest in it. Kathy's going to a Christmas party tonight at work. You want to go? Yeah, no, not interested. Not interested. Well, where are you, Ashley? I don't know how long until my other channel, I get it back. But I checked it this morning. It's still no go. Still no go. There's Ashley. There she is. Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good, you?
Oh, finer frog hair.
Long time no see.
I know, where you been?
Me, I've been right here. I ain't gone nowhere.
I'll tell you, man. This thing, it's being weird. This thing.
Lay it on me.
This phone thing. I can only see myself. I can't see you.
You can't see me?
No, I can't see you.
Well,
I can't see you, lovely face.
That's bad for you. You should be able to see me. I am one handsome.
It is bad. I know, Todd. That is why I'm
so
bringing it
good
up, man.
You are missing out.
I'm
Do you not know how to use your phone?
No, brother.
Are
I'm
you a
losing
low tech redneck?
I I've lost one phone because I wouldn't update the daggum thing. I can't find a sock. I mean, I said I was ready.
I see you all good. Yeah, you did. That was what you typed. I'm ready.
I didn't want to lose you, man. I didn't want to lose you. I
I
was
ain't
like,
going
oh my
nowhere.
God, it's been so long. I'm like,
I wasn't
I'm
going nowhere.
losing. I ain't even fixed my coffee. I don't even care.
No
Dude,
way. You said you were ready. You sound like my kids. All right, let's go. Y'all ready? Yeah, I'm ready. No shoes on. Hair not combed. What are you doing? I'm ready to go. No, you're not. Not even
Apparently
close.
not.
Not even close.
I slept with onions and whatnot on my feet last night.
Oh, did
I
you
ain't even
sleep
took
with
them
wet
out.
socks and onions?
Yeah, I did. I did. I did.
I
Soaked it
think.
in euthanasia, apple cider vinegar,
Right,
Uh,
right. You getting sick?
Tommy? Oh, well, trying. I will not. I
Take your
refuse to.
magnesium and your calcium.
Magnesium. Nope, that's zinc I got. I don't know if I got magnesium. I'll look. Magnesium and calcium. Oh, look at Tommy, man. Telling somebody how to take care of it.
Wake and bake with you guys. But the season's coming and it's time for your calcium and your magnesium. If nothing else, the zinc is good too, but everybody's low on magnesium.
calcium and magnesium.
Right.
All right. Well, I'll try to find some of that today then.
Right. They're good.
What foods have more calcium and magnesium in them?
I saw a deal about uh, calcium, and the first deal I saw was about the osteoporosis drugs that they've been pushing for the last 30 years. And what they do is they go in and they block the mechanism that sheds uh, dead cells in your bones. And it builds up in your bones, and they go get x-rays, and you look at the x-rays, they're like, oh my gosh, look at that, you're getting new bone built up, but it's not. And they're starting to have a problem, and they've already named it what do they call it, long bone fracture syndrome, where people are like going and they'll step off of a curb and their femur will just snap right in half.
Really? Yeah,
Yep.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And all these osteoporosis drugs, from what I read. Now, this is just stuff what I read. I got to put a disclaimer so they don't medical misinformation on me. But this is facts that are out there. And there's just like the Prilosec, bad for your stomach. It was supposed to be good for it. The statins for cholesterol is supposed to be good for you. Found out they're bad for you. Osteoporosis drugs supposed to be helping these old women losing bone density, and it's doing the opposite. It's crazy. Everything over my lifetime that they came out with and said, hey, look at this. This is going to fix you. It didn't fix nothing. Created multiple problems in its wake.
Yeah. No, it's a fact. That's all the medications. I mean, like, that's what they do. What were we watching? Oh, yeah, we were watching an old 1950 sci-fi the other day, and they were talking about, like the atomic age, and they were talking about how big they were boosting the atomic age up, like right. In the movie, they were boosting it up, like, this is the greatest age ever, and then all of a sudden, freaking, whatever it is,
it's
whatever lies that they told us. Yeah.
But what's funny is they weren't wrong. Nuclear power is the best, cleanest, most efficient energy. They weren't lying to you about that. The atomic age was great. It could be even better, but the powers that be and big oil said, I don't think so. If we can't get a cut, ain't nobody getting it. Right. We're going to set up a nuclear regulatory commission that'll shut it down. Right. We'll be done with that nuclear power before you know it.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, I guess it could be good.
Oh, it is great. You hadn't seen what's his name? Galen. What's his last name? Galen something. He was like the first dude in the nuclear reactor business. He was the engineer that did most of it. And he went around in the 70s and 80s doing talks where he explained how radiation from a nuclear reactor is not harmful to you. He said he took the bigwigs through one of the plants, and they came up to one of the pools, the cooling pools, and he took a drink out of it. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, it's not harmful. There's nothing wrong with it. And right there in his talks, he had a little handful of uranium or something, and he just ate it. He's like, this is not going to hurt you. He said, that's all a scam. It won't hurt you at all. And he said, in his talk, he said him and another guy were the first guys they led into the control room at 3 Mile Island. Right. And he said him and that guy, they talked about it. They were alone in the control room. They made them let them be alone. And they talked and they said, we can start this right back up. There's nothing wrong with it. I said, we'll just start it right back up. And he said the government and all the officials outside, they were so afraid they were going to start it back up. And when they got out, they were like, I don't know what y'all are complaining about. There's nothing wrong here. And they're like, oh, yeah. oh yeah, there's a problem. It's like, there's not a problem. What are y'all doing? And he said he knew right then when they started doing all the nuclear regulatory stuff and saying this amount of radiation exposure is lethal, it's dangerous. He said from the very first parameter they set, they were wrong, completely wrong. And so nuclear energy is amazing. It's really good. And what's the deal? Yesterday on Chernobyl, this guy was a researcher.
Yeah.
And back when Chernobyl happened, we sent him over there to help out, with medically and stuff. And he said he got over there, and there was a community that lived by Chernobyl. That when he started checking people, he was checking people for radiation exposure and sickness. And he started checking these people, and they were the most healthy people he'd ever run across. He said there were people in their 60s and 70s that looked like they were 40. He said
Really?
most healthy people. He said, and they came from a community. He could see a couple of big silos. He said they came from that community. Well, those silos were bio labs. And the scientists that worked in there knew that the people working around there were going to need immune system boost. So they developed these probiotics. And these people have been taking these probiotics for a long time. And they were just the most healthy people he'd ever seen.
Really?
He's just amazing. He said when that doctor was done, he came back to the U.S., he bought what did he say? I think he said he bought a high school, an abandoned high school, and set up a factory to make probiotics. And they were like, the government was like, whoa, what are you doing? He's like, man, this stuff's great. And they're like, yeah, you got to go through us first. It was crazy. It was a crazy
Right.
story.
Right.
When you see that kind of stuff, and the whole story of Chernobyl was just such a catastrophe, right? And that guy says, yeah, it was anything but. It was anything but.
Right.
Well, that's the thing too. You heard about the. Oh, am I not supposed to be?
No,
talking?
go ahead.
But that's the thing too, right? Like, there was a video on. No, don't turn it towards me. I'm like, I'm all geared up to go outside. But they were talking. Man, there was that. I remember seeing a video probably about 3-4 years ago about Chernobyl, and like these guys were there, went there, and they were like, yeah, there's no radiation. It's all.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There's like animals everywhere, and birds chirping, and everything was all gravy.
Well, 20 years ago, people started going in there and filming, and the vegetation was growing up everywhere. There were animals everywhere. They didn't find any anomalies. They didn't find any, what they expected to find. They thought just the animals around there would just have 2 heads and, just all kinds of crazy stuff. But it was, it was fine.
Right.
Of course it was.
They're just going, they're going, no, you can't go in there. If you do go in there, you only be there in an hour.
Right.
You have to get out.
And then you'll be dead.
It's like, whatever.
Boy, did you see the one where the dude went so they have these rods, I guess, and they have these like cooling pools for the rods, and so and the dude was like swimming in it.
Yeah, that's Galen. What's his name? That's who I was talking about a while ago. He drinks the water out of him. He tried to prove to everybody that nuclear was the safest thing out there, and the powers that be went the opposite direction.
Right, and then there was this thing about that the reason that they have these like radioactive waste ponds and pools and stuff like that is because they're actually getting rid of the dead bodies of people that need to be gone.
That's what I've heard. That's what those nuclear waste dumps are for, the ones they put in the mountains and stuff.
Right.
There's supposed to be bodies in them and sealed in concrete. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So
I wouldn't put it past them now. The things
no,
they're
not at
doing now,
all.
I wouldn't put it past
Knowing what we think we know now, right?
them, right? I want to see one of your guitars you make. I want to buy one of those.
You want to buy one? Because I sure need to sell one.
I wanted to buy one. I sent Ashley a message weeks ago when she first said you've been working
Shut
on
the
them.
front door. Oh, she dropped the ball. She dropped the ball. Here, baby. Here, I'm gonna put this down. I'll pick one up for you.
Right?
I really like this. I really like this one that I got. I call him Lefty.
Lefty. Oh,
Yeah.
Lefty.
Oh, Lefty.
He's cool.
But yeah, I can plug him in. And
Okay.
I'm a righty though.
I'm a righty. Maybe the righty.
oh no, I'm a righty too. No, it's maybe light. Just check.
You're
No.
making me dizzy.
You'll be all right.
So, here we go.
I think you'll be all right.
Is it close enough to me?
No, I'll get closer so I can get a good look. I can see it kinda.
Okay, hold your horses, everybody. Everybody. Everything's going so
Forget the
fast.
computer for a minute. Do this first. All right, so this is no, baby.
You put it where the camera is.
Okay.
You put it where the damn camera is, son. Oh, cool.
There you go.
That's sharp looking. And they're electrified. Sweet.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
he's got a humbucker. Here's I custom carved that.
Right
That
for
is
your
it.
knee.
It's a leg rest.
Right. That looks cool, man.
Yeah, and then it's
How
all
many
it's got
strings?
glass and 3 strings.
Okay, 3 strings, right?
Box. It's open
That's
tuning.
nice
Really
work,
easy.
Jason.
Thank you.
Wow,
Really
that's
easy.
pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. That's cool looking, dude.
How I did the glue and I flared it
edges,
out with the grain.
Hey, Al, have a good day, babe. I love the way you set the tensioners too. I like the way you set them.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and that's real bone bridge and
Right.
bone nut.
How much
And
for it?
I'm asking 5 for this one.
All right.
That's what everybody says. But and then
Hold on, my coffee.
My coffee. Oh my God. My lifeline. My lifeline. Unclog your brain.
so
You're ridiculous.
this is the piezo. And then this is humbucker. You probably can't hear the difference on the.
I can hear the difference in the reverb.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
There's
yeah,
a difference, for sure.
it's first thing in the morning, so I don't have my groove on yet, man. But
That's okay.
yeah, but it's pretty awesome, man. It's got.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and so it's got you got your piezo, which is more like a woody sound, and then you got your humbucker, kind of deep throated, and then you got and then right here in the middle, it does a blend of the two. So you got.
You know what's funny? Over the last month, I've probably watched a dozen videos about guitars, and these guys went over the old Gibsons and Strats and Ibanez and all the different brands of guitars out there. And the difference is like that, like you're talking about the switches, how one's for the upper pickup, one's for the lower, and one blends the two. That's cool.
Yeah, and it comes with a custom leather strap for you.
Wait, look at you, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else you got? That was beautiful. What else you got?
Well, on the lower end,
I sold everything.
I know I've sold everything else. On the
Oh,
lower end, I got this little guy. I call him,
that's a trip.
I call him Tangerine.
Right.
and he don't have no markers on the front, but he's got markers on the side.
On the sides, right?
Yeah, and so there's his little.
Oh, sweet! I like
Yeah,
that.
little fin going on. Oh, there's a. I don't know if you can see the pointy.
Right.
Butt
Dovetailing and everything, and that sweep neck. I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then and so then that's your bridge.
Savoy, yeah.
Little nut. Yeah, so he's pretty cool. He's like real woody.
Not electrified though.
Yeah, he's electric too. So
Jason. That ninja been throwing down on the piezos and the humbuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned the difference in the different kind of pickups. The humbucker was the first one to come out that really had a lot of reverb to it, and
yeah, so he's got good sound, can't bring it down, baby. Oh yeah, it is. So he's good all the way up the neck. Yeah, he's got good. And the cool thing is open tuning, so you can just play like one. You can just play one string. You just be. You just dill around it.
Got the two of them for sale.
What's that, brother?
What?
What did you say?
What'd
You
you
just
say?
have the two for sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got these two right now.
No,
I'm working on one.
Then make me a custom one for me for Christmas.
Oh.
Make you a custom one?
You show him a shop.
Well, I'll have to send you pictures of cigar boxes, but here, let's look at this one I'm working on real quick, and then that's it. And then I'm done. Then I'm going out for a cigarette.
But I'm giving him a coffee, man.
Oh,
I mean, like,
what?
Coffee? You still ain't got your coffee?
I still.
What the hell are you waiting on?
No, you gotta forgive my shop, man.
That's all right. My shop's probably as bad.
When I get to work and I get like friggin', it gets ridiculous. But so this is the one I'm working on right now, and he's got pearl inlays.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then but he's gonna be the kickstand guitar. So I got this little box here with these springs right here, and then I got this guy here that I made, and he's got little, I don't know if you can see it, but he's got little routed little handholds in them. Yeah. And so anyways, he goes right in there like that. And then when you're playing, so eventually these springs will be attached.
Right.
To,
and you can kind of bounce them up and down and wah the sound.
No. This is for your leg.
Right.
Put on your leg.
But it doesn't change the sound because it would have a little tension and bounce in it, won't it?
Oh yeah, it will change your sound. Yeah, it will. It will. Yeah. It'll be.
That's what I'm saying. That's pretty cool where just your knee bouncing a little bit can change that sound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, so it's like a kick.
That's
a little
the first
kick
thing I saw was that it would be a.
It does a little bit. I have other guitars I've made that I intentionally put springs on the neck.
Right.
To because the neck goes all the way through. So when I say the neck, I'm saying the inside of the box too, right?
Well, I see that, and I mean, I just saw something that if across the top of that as it comes through, if you put a piece of wood across it, would it not move the air more inside there for a bigger effect?
Well, I don't.
See what I'm saying? Once you put that in, put a piece of wood across the top, and then hook the spring, so you have something to move the air inside. You see what I'm saying?
No, I suck at verbal and reading. Like it's got to be visual.
Right, the neck
anyways,
goes
but
through.
that's,
Oh, okay, I see.
that's the way it goes in. See, and it's
And
got
it goes through the neck.
right. Yeah, yeah. It could go.
Yeah, he's got the little.
No, I gotta. Yeah, I gotta figure that out a little bit. I just did this yesterday, so I still got some things to do.
Kink.
Oh, sure. I see what you got going.
Oh, it's got it. Well, the body's got a little tilt back, so
Sure.
yeah, so it'll slide in there once the body's tilted.
Yeah,
down.
just carve out a little half groove there.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what's going on. This is the top of it, but I'm pretty much gonna sand this box down and make it old timey looking.
Right.
You want a custom guitar? Here you go.
So yeah, I mean, if you wanted, I don't know what you want. I got boxes everywhere, but we'll send you. I'll send you some things.
For me, I can tell you what I would like is just plain wood, really nice stain, and then like the chrome pickups, nothing special, and then like just my initials in it, TG.
All right. Do you want
simple
chrome pickups? So you want the dual humbuckers?
Sure.
Sure. All right. Well, we gotta get you a big box then.
Kind of almost the same way as that other one, but maybe a darker finish.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I can hook you up. We'll talk about it. What's your you care about giving me your number online?
No, I'll give you my number. I've given her my number 2 or 3 times in the chat. She never took it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. I don't
know why. She just won't.
All right, what do you got, brother?
432 294 1944. You know, when we're done here, we can log off live and still talk.
Oh, can we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could log off live right now and call it and still talk.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't care. Oh, but I got good content for your channel because Ashley and I went to the Flat Earth debate with Dean Odell and Greg Locke.
All right, I've watched some of that online. Y'all were there.
Yeah, we were there.
All right.
So you got firsthand witnesses on your YouTube morning show.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did y'all think? What I saw of it when the other guy got all upset and turned his mic off and he just ended it all right there.
Yeah, Greg Locke.
He was a turd.
And he's a total turd. Yeah, no, that guy. We showed up 3 hours early. Baby, do you got a lighter? We showed up 3 hours early.
Where's yours?
And I don't know what you did with it.
I don't know what you did with it. Lighter stealer.
Absolutely.
Oh, my coffee's already outside. Okay, so yeah, we show up 3 hours early, and they got freaking they got armed security everywhere. Like there must have been like probably 10. I'd say probably 10 or 12 dudes. Yeah. Armed security with black vest on and everything.
Wow.
So right off the bat, I was like, this is freaking, this guy's a freaking jerk face,
Bad vibe right off.
What's that?
Bad vibe right off.
Oh, right off. Yeah, super bad vibe. And then and then we get into so it's like this giant circus tent, right?
Right.
And that's where he like holds his churches normally anyways. So
yeah, I remember
so it's like Yeah. So he had his worship team up there 3 hours early, and they were blasting the music, like you could not even have a thought in this tent. Yeah, and it went all the way until Greg Locke and Dean Odell came up on stage.
Really?
Tell me that's not divisive.
Just a total disruption, huh?
Yeah, he didn't want his. And his church members were like had such a hostility about them compared to the they were outnumbered 3-1
Right.
with flat earthers. Yeah.
I couldn't believe at the end there where he told the congregation, told the people, if you believe in this flat earth stuff, don't come back to our church.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
was
he's like that.
whoa. Wow. Talk about shooting
no
yourself
doubt.
in the foot.
Yeah, he's like that, man. No, he
Right.
did. I know he lost a lot of people that night.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
And he was so how do you put it? He was so disingenuous about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. He puts out the verse, the mercy of the Lord is as high as the heavens. He's like, well, my heavens extend forever. He's like, you got a cap on your heavens, so you're putting a cap on the Lord's mercy. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Come
Right,
on.
especially when you know there's verses that the earth is his footstool.
Right. And he used that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The man degraded. Oh, come here, Splash. Oh, didn't even know you wasn't on the.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah, he was he just put on a show. He just put on a show, and he thought I don't know how he thought that he was going to be in a good light though. I don't know how he
I
thought
couldn't
that.
hardly listen to him. I'd listen to him for a few minutes and I'd fast forward. I'd listen a
Right.
few minutes, fast forward. Then I went on to Dean and listen to him, and I was like, okay, this is more online. Because the other guy
Dean
was
did a
just
fine job,
flat.
man.
So where was that held at?
Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
It was
At
in
Greg
Juliet,
Locke's
Tennessee.
church.
Okay.
It was at Greg's
and
church.
I watched Witsit Gets its feed on it, and he was supposed to go up and talk, and that guy shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
Witsit was supposed to get up there, and they didn't let him.
he was using Bible verse, like whenever Greg got up there to do his little, debate or his part of it, he was using Bible verses from a guy that's not even didn't even put the right flat Earth Bible verses.
He's a baby flat earther.
Right.
He put together together.
Right, that were wrong.
Yeah, he put together a list. I've actually been through that list verbatim, like scripture, line upon line, precept upon precept. And I
Hold on,
do.
hang on a sec.
Okay.
No, they're not. It's so cute, man. They run it. It's a runner.
I thought it was one stick.
No, it's a runner.
Okay.
No,
I
it's
thought I
runner.
saw it.
All right, you leaving?
Yeah, yeah. Can you find my seat today?
I'm sorry, I completely forgot about it.
Yes, you did.
All
Oh,
right.
Kathy, don't forget again.
Bye.
Oh, Fred yesterday had a big lipoma taken off of his hip. They did a running suture on it, and Kathy was looking at him, and she goes, "What happened to his stitches? Where are they?" I said,
Oh no.
They're so
What?
cute. They ran them under the skin.
Oh,
Okay.
how interesting.
You can't see him, and he's laying over there. Poor Fred. Let me say, "Oh, Fred." Poor Fred laying over there. Got his cone on.
Oh, little guy. I
Poor
can't
guy.
see.
He's so miserable.
He's so miserable.
Yeah, he was
guy.
always looking at that thing. It had a little tit sticking out on it, a little raw spot that just stayed raw. And he's always licking it. You know how dogs do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, they won't leave it alone.
They won't. They want it to stop. They think that if they keep licking, it'll stop.
Yeah.
Right.
But it gets
Okay.
worse.
So back to the deal.
Oh,
Did
right.
anybody else? Nobody else got to talk but those two.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody else.
Dean was gonna have people come up there at the end, like he was gonna pull folks up there. But yeah. So Greg was reading off of this. He was using these as his debate
and I went through
of
that list.
debunking flat Earth.
I went through that list, and I knew that list was bad because I saw that list about 4 years ago, and I was gonna use it to to send to people so they could look up the verses themselves. But I checked it first, and I was like, I can't send this. This is garbage. He's got stuff in there that doesn't even pertain to it.
And that Greg guy, didn't he say when Dean referred to the verse where God, earth is his footstool, that guy says, "Oh, that's a metaphor."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a metaphor.
Yeah.
Really? That okay, whatever. It is God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, don't work that way.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and he totally waited. And then when it got time for Dean to come up there and for them to actually speak about the Bible verses that Dean had went through in his presentation, like Greg just got all fired up like a little firecracker
Yeah.
and about shot off the daggum roof. I'll
He
tell
knew
you.
he knew
He
he
knew.
lost.
He knew.
He knew he
Oh, yeah.
lost.
And that's
He
why he
wouldn't
got
let
so
Dean
mad.
talk. He wouldn't hardly let Dean talk.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Right,
know.
right.
It was
And then
crazy. And I'd seen some behind the scenes video, and Dean went and did another Q&A in another building, or he did
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
next day. And
yeah, we were there. Yeah.
did y'all go to that
Yeah.
Yeah, that was church. He was holding church in
at the Marriott?
Yeah.
at the Marriott. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I saw
Huge.
some of that, and what I thought was so funny is how the guy would never get back to him about the format and what they wanted to talk about and how they wanted
Right.
to do it. This
Yeah.
is the day of when he got
Yeah.
told.
Right.
That's chicken shit, man. I don't care who you are.
Right.
That's
Oh, so you heard the story about, where in the beginning it was Greg talking, in the beginning, Greg, Greg and Dean and Tim, they were all at some sort of gathering conference, something. And this is like a month prior or so, 2 weeks prior. And
No, it was like a month.
all right, a month. And Greg and Tim were talking about Greg's church members were bringing up flat earth to him, and he said it was ruining marriages in his church, and he wanted to know why it was ruining marriages. Well, he didn't realize that it was going to be so big. He really didn't. Greg didn't. He didn't think that it was going to be that big of a turnout, but it ended up being that. But he told Tim that day a month ago that because Tim said the Lord is going to use Dean to promote flat earth on your platform. And Greg said that'll be a cold day in hell. And 2 weeks later, Greg was contacting saying, let's do this.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Greg wanted to go after Dean because his son came to him about flat earth.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
really made him mad when his own son was like,
Yeah.
whoa, hang on a second, Dad. Take a look at this.
Right.
And he lost his shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I
He was
couldn't believe it.
determined to right this wrong. He's gonna
Yeah.
prove to everybody.
Right.
Prove it to everybody.
Oh,
Don't-
yeah.
don't-
Yeah.
With his one verse about worlds. And
Right.
that word
that's
world,
not even the right interpretation.
right. It means eons, right.
Ages. Yeah.
Ages.
Yeah.
But those people
No.
love to cling to that kind of stuff. That's all they've ever
Totally.
heard. That's all they
Right.
ever know.
That's
And
it. And they won't.
they're told if anybody tells you different, they're blasphemous. Don't listen
Right.
to them. And these people go, well, okay, you went to Bible college, I didn't. The same old appeal to authority. Goes
Right.
straight down that same path to preachers. Okay, preacher told me. That don't mean he's right.
And even after, Greg said, I mean, even after Dean showed like the Hebrew of what the firmament meant, he went down in the Hebrew, he went in the Greek, he
Right.
showed it.
And
Greg
if you
gets
haven't
up
read
there.
the verses where it talks about the different heavens and stuff, and you don't see that picture, what he's talking about, you're in denial.
Right.
You're in denial.
Right.
You just
Right.
don't want to see it.
Yeah. And he even said, he was like, and in my Bible, it's English and it says firmament, that's what Greg said. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you can't throw out the Hebrew, the original language it was written in.
Right.
And he was totally like manipulative and double speak.
Oh yeah.
Total double speak.
Yeah.
Right.
Because in the beginning,
and
Greg said that we're all friends here, and in this day and age, we can't. He was like people don't want to argue, don't want to discuss a point civilly and humbly and all that stuff. And then at the end, he's freaking blowing up. He can't be civil and humble.
And
Did you see?
from our experience, we've all experienced it. Anybody that's willing to listen to what you're saying and think about it is not going to, clap back at you all upset going, no. They're going to be like, wow, that's pretty interesting. That needs to be looked at. But this guy was completely shut off. I ain't listening.
Yeah, he didn't want it.
I already know what I want to say. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, he wasn't paying attention at all when Dean was up there giving his presentation.
No, he was down there writing on his little notebook.
No, he wasn't even. Well, he'd do that a little bit, but he was like mainly just staring out into the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you hear the part when he brought up the Flat Earth Society, and that he used the one where because the Flat Earth Society put out a thing where the Earth was constantly moving upward,
right.
and that's why that's why we have gravity or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
and,
the one that did the most harm, it may be the same one where the last scene is the guy saying, yeah, we tested the tilt of the Earth and it was 15 degrees, so it's tilted. And they ended it there. It's like, wait, you just went through all this stuff about how the Earth is flat, and then you go, yeah, we couldn't prove it. The Earth tilts. And that blew up. Everybody's going, see, even the flat Earth people say, they couldn't prove it. And that was one of the Flat Earth Society's videos. And I watched it, and I was throughout it. I was going, okay, they're saying it, but they're not really saying it. Okay, they're almost there, but they won't go there. And then in the end, they just shut it all down. And said, yeah, we discovered this tilt, and we tested it several times. And it's just gyroscopes don't lie. And it's like, yeah, they do. When you're manipulating them to do what you want them to do, yeah, they lie. But that was terrible, man. I mean, that was like, wow.
I couldn't believe the dishonor. I couldn't believe that just the dishonor. I mean, Dean just tossed that mic to him, and Greg took that mic and just slapped it out in the air, and it fell on the ground, and then he started hollering at everybody and telling everybody you're demons and get rid of this witchery, get out, I'm ready to praise Jesus. It was just, and dude, when we first got there, we got every flat earther got there like 3 hours early. I mean, we were all there making sure we got seats, and they had that music blasting so loud that everybody we were all standing in the rain. We all went outside and stood in the rain for like 3 hours, just kind of hanging out until they were done with their praising. Yeah, because it was that wasn't no praising. Dude. It was a rock show. That's what it was. It was a rock show.
That guy, he really seemed petty. He's one of those guys that if somebody like Dean, another preacher, was to come to him and tell him, look, man, as far as preaching goes, you're stepping out of bounds. You're not, I don't think you're genuine, rebuke him. And like the Bible says, go to him one-on-one. And if he doesn't change, then you get more people. And, the process. If he's one of those guys, if you went to him like that, he'd be like, you're the one that's evil, not me. I'm the one that's right. You're wrong. Right. You're not going to convince me otherwise. I've been preaching for so long, yada, yada, yada. Whatever. Yeah. So has Benny Hanna. So as Jerry Swalwell and all those guys, they've been preaching a long time. That don't mean they're right.
Guess who I got to talk to over there?
I did, yeah.
Who's that?
I got to talk to Trey Smith for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a flat earther now.
Yeah. Dude, we were walking up the parking lot, and all of a sudden we were turn around, and Jason goes, oh, hey, Trey Smith. And I turned around and I was like, well, what's up, dude? and there he was. And then then we walked in, and I started asking everybody, hey man, is Trey Smith a glober or a flat earther? And nobody even hardly knew who Trey Smith was. I was stunned. So I finally just walked up to him, and Jason was talking to him. So I talked to his little buddy beside him, and I was like, is Trey a non-glober? I mean, a flat earther or a glober? And he was like, well, he said he's more a flat earther. He was like, he's gotten more to where that's where he's leaning toward. And I was like, well, that's awesome. So he was there he was there recording for Dean. And that was really awesome. I thought that was cool. So
and I confess, I don't know who Trey Smith is. I've heard his name, but I'm not sure who he is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Check out some of his videos. He's
He's
pretty-
like the king of hand gestures. is what
Yeah,
he
yeah. Oh, that's it. I've always wanted to tell because I started watching Trey Smith about 5 years ago, and so when he does his videos, he puts it right up on his face, and then he's got a screen behind him. And he is the ninja of the hand gestures, man. He is,
is.
and I've always wanted to tell him. I've always wanted to tell him that. So I got an opportunity
Yep.
to tell him that, and he divulged to me. He said Greg Locke would have to, make a pretty compelling case for him to change his mind
Right.
about flat Earth.
Cool.
So,
The thing I've noticed, talking about conversions, is I watched Woodward TV and John Levy, and those two guys from the beginning. I started watching them. They have come almost 180 on God.
Oh, John Levy?
Yeah, their early stuff. They're like, look, I'm not religious. I don't do this. I don't ascribe to that. And then as it's gone, now you can hear each one of them go, you have to have your time with God. You have to, pray. You have to, or these things are going to get you. The material world's going to get you. If you don't do it. And John Levy and when he sees new stuff, he's like, you just have to know that God exists. Look at this stuff. It's amazing. And I'm like, all right, you guys at first were kind of like, yeah. And then you start seeing all of this and you're like, there's got to be a God. This stuff,
Right.
Nothing else explains it.
Nothing else.
And that's cool to see
Nothing
those people do big conversions like that.
Oh, I know.
that's
It's
awesome.
just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. One that is so stern and so just they're set in their belief, they know, and then all of a sudden they find out the earth is not a spinning ball, and they're like, wait a minute, there's a God, and it's like, oh yay, the Lord's so holy. He's just so holy how he reveals his truth, and like literally he is truth. God, the Lord Jesus is truth.
Right.
And so if you come to the truth, you really come to the truth, man, it don't matter how you come to it, he will eventually lead you to him.
And that's the thing that, with Greg Locke saying that, flat Earth is breaking up marriages. To him, it's ridiculous because he thinks that marriages are breaking up over whether the Earth is a globe or flat. But in reality, once you realize that the Earth is flat, then you start then it breaks down all the other deceptions, right? Then you start to see other things, and you're like, wait a minute, what about this? What about that?
Right.
And
So
that's
it
why
ain't just about
marriages
flat
break up, because you have one person that's a chosen that has been woken up, and you have another person that hasn't, that wants to stay in the matrix, right? And
it's funny. Kathy, over the years, she was very, very closed off to the whole idea. And just over time, when I take her a short video and show her, look at this, and now she's like, oh yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying. And and she's on board now. She realizes the end times too. That this is
that's good.
no coincidence that everything's going to shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tommy. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Right. And what's one of the cooler things is sorry, Alex just texted me. She just got a ticket.
Oh.
Speeding in a school zone. I tell her, wow, that's 2 times the fine now in a school zone. Yeah, I didn't think I was speeding. But one of the things that Kathy has come around to more than anything is just the corruption in the pharmaceutical industry. And
that's awesome.
She has to deal with what she's dealing with on a daily basis and the deceptions behind it. Because I show her the stuff on, like I was talking about the drugs and stuff. I show her those things and go, look, I mean, The doctors you work with are all prescribing this stuff, like it's freaking candy, and she's starting to understand that. She's talking more and more about getting out in the next year.
Right.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Did you ever think it was going to come to that?
I didn't know.
She would like see that?
I just tried to stay chill about it, show her interesting stuff, short things, right?
Yeah.
Not hour and a half long videos or anything, just 3 minutes. She can handle that like a kid. She ain't gonna sit and watch something. She'll sit here and play on her phone while I'm watching something, and I'll stop it and go, "Did you see that?" And she said, "What?" And look, I'll run it back. Oh, okay. I told her, I said, "You're worse than a kid." She plays games all the time. If she ain't checking emails or texting with somebody at work, she's playing a game.
Yeah.
I'm like, put that fucking phone down. That's crazy.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm on my
Put it
mom
down.
all the time about that.
I don't have any games on my phones. I don't have any games on any of my stuff.
Yeah.
She put one on my iPad, but other than that, I don't even play games.
Yeah, my phone don't work good enough for me to do any of that. Like it hardly works good enough for me to use now.
I have Monopoly and spades.
Right? Hey, did you see our Charlie Brown Christmas tree?
I can't see you. I haven't been able to see you this whole time. I've not been able to see yourself the whole time.
You're kidding.
Nope.
I see y'all real good.
I'm sure you do.
You're
Nope.
in the purple toque. That's a toque.
Man, you gotta be layered up,
No, your hat.
Three robes.
Me and Kathy had that argument when we first got together, and the Alex was maybe a year old, and it's winter, and we're gonna go outside, and she's like, "Well, get a toque," and I'm like, "A toque?" And she goes, "Yeah, a hat for her head is cold." I said, "You mean a toboggan?" She goes, "No, a toboggan is a sled." I said, "No, a sled is a sled. A toboggan goes on your head." And she's like, "No, a toboggan. No, that."
A toboggan is a sled, man.
No, toboggan is a toboggan that goes on your
is
head.
A sled, man.
We've had the same argument, bro. We've had the same argument.
Round and round. I was like, "That's a toboggan on your head, man." She's like, "No, you sled on a toboggan. No, you sled on a sled."
Lord have mercy.
Like, that's a toque. What the fuck is a toque? A toque ain't a word.
I got one. I'm just saying.
Yeah. What's a toque? I ain't never heard no toque.
Never heard of a toque? You freaking foreigner.
A freaking foreigner.
For the first couple of years we were together, I called her a fuzzy foreigner.
A fuzzy foreigner.
All right, that's it. I'm Googling it.
The argument.
See what a toque really is. I don't even know how you would spell it.
Tuke? Toque? Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it's a French word from Canada.
T-O-U? T-O. It wouldn't be T-O-O. Nope.
All right, so it's got in the Google search, it's got toboggan sled, toboggan hat.
Right.
See.
So they finally changed it.
So it's both.
It's both.
Right.
Well,
they finally
ain't
went,
that the
okay,
English
all right,
language?
it can be both. Jeez, people.
Right, that's the English language for you. It can be both.
Right.
Right.
It's all part of double think, right?
Right.
Well, it's a part of it's to get somebody in an argument over is it a toque or a sled?
Yeah. There it is. We solved the conspiracy theory.
Ruins marriages.
It ruins marriages. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Right up there with flat Earth, the toque debate.
Yeah.
I think the whole truth community that's going after the reset, Tartaria, mud flood, all the different names it has, and I've said it a bunch of times before, they're all walking right up to that line of post-millennial reign, and they just stop and say, there was an event. Something happened. Something big happened. Mountains melted.
I totally believe it. Tribulation
was-
already happened.
Something happened and they won't go. Maybe it's Armageddon. Maybe Armageddon is past. Maybe, all
Yeah.
these buried cities we're finding, all these
Right.
melted mountains we're finding is Armageddon. And what we know is the devil loosed and he took over all the institutions.
Right. That's right.
That is
Nobody
exactly.
comes out. You ever seen anybody do a video on the pluses of any institution, higher education, medical, government, industry, any of it? Come out and go, you know what's really great about this? It doesn't exist.
Yeah, they renamed the rivers, the body, the land masses, everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything got changed. Everything.
Because if you go to Google Earth and you follow the Euphrates and the Gihon, they don't go to the North Pole, but they should.
Right. They've people can't imagine that they're so programmed. They cannot imagine
That
what
they were
they're
lied
doing
to.
isn't real. They
Right.
they can't come to that fruition that, okay, they've lied to me about everything.
Right.
Every single thing.
No.
They've been straight with us about.
I mean, Greg Locke is a perfect example of what happens, if you try to talk to one that does not want to believe. They do not want to believe that they were lied to. They cannot believe it. There is no way that we have had this constructed as a lie no. And it's just so insane. What
I
was
don't
that?
understand is why those people, when they hear those recordings from 40 years ago, like David Rockefeller saying to the press, we couldn't have done this without you. We sure appreciate your help over the last 30 years of putting our agenda in place. This was in the early 90s that he's thanking the press for all their help. He couldn't have done it without them, that they got things done that he couldn't have got done. And when you hear that, how can you not go, whoa, these guys, the press and the Rockefellers, they've been twisting everything on us? Are you kidding me? They won't believe it. They're like, they can make up those tapes. Oh, that video is fake.
Well,
whatever.
Rockefeller was the one who set up the public school system.
Yeah. Look at the public school system.
Right.
The debate with Gavin Newsom and DeSantis. Gavin Newsom brings up, hey, our 8th graders have one of the highest reading aptitudes in the country. And DeSantis had all the numbers. He's like, what are you talking about? Your 8th graders are like next to last in the country. Your school system is last. Terrible. Right. And he's like, no, we do good. We spend more per capita on a kid than anybody else. Yeah, and you're the worst. What's that tell you?
Right.
What's that tell you, chump? And he's just proud of it. Just so proud. I can't believe people overlook the whole deal they did in San Francisco for Zing. What? You cleaned that stuff up in 2 days and hung Chinese flags up and down the street? Are you kidding me? What are they doing?
What? Where? When?
Yeah, you got us lost.
Yeah, what you talking about?
You didn't see that?
No.
A couple of weeks ago when the Chinese leader Xi Jinping came to town, San Francisco greeted him. He flew into San Francisco and they cleaned up downtown like you wouldn't believe, man. And they put up fences all the way down the route he's going to drive. And on those fences, they had Chinese flags hanging. And they had people standing with Chinese flags.
Really?
What?
No, I didn't see
Yeah, you
that.
see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. And when he was asked about it, he goes, hey, look, if you got people coming over to your house, you clean up. You make it nice for them. And, we cleaned up for him. We had guests coming. And people were like,
well,
they must clean up for us?
Right.
You have
They
to wait
must have
till
moved a
somebody
bunch of homeless people because San Francisco I heard San Francisco turned into a dump.
It is huge, big time dump. And that's what people are freaking out about. There's before and after pictures of businesses on that street that just have paint smeared all over them from vandals. boarded up, and then the next day it's all cleaned up, it's repainted, it's got new
Wow.
awnings in front of it. The street where it was just trash everywhere is all cleaned up. Everything's gone.
Whoa.
Now, people are asking, where'd the people go? What did they do with the homeless? Nobody
Yeah.
knows. They're like, where did they go? What did they do? Yeah,
Wow.
look it up. Look it up,
I'm-
man. It was
yeah.
crazy. I can't believe people didn't say any more about it.
They probably moved them all to Slab City.
They don't know. One guy, he did a video. He had several videos before just showing how bad San Francisco was, and then after he went and drove those same routes, and you don't recognize it. You don't recognize it.
Wow.
And people are all going, you could have done this months ago, years ago. You could have cleaned this up. It took them like 2 days. It only took them 2 days. Whew, cleaned up a huge area.
Right.
Huge area.
Wow.
Of course. Right.
And,
Because it don't
and
take
people in
that
San
long.
Francisco are starting to go, well, Nancy Pelosi's office building downtown, they don't even go down there anymore because too many people get mugged. They don't even use the building anymore. Everybody just started working from home that work there.
Really?
Yeah, it was so bad downtown. That's why Elon Musk, their building was downtown. That's why he's moving everything to San Antonio.
I'm glad I got to see San
Yeah.
Francisco when it was still awesome.
Right,
back
right,
in
when it wasn't a dump.
yeah,
But did
back
you
in
see on the debate,
1995.
DeSantis pulled up a picture of the poop tracker in San Francisco. They've got an app that you can download. It's probably been 5 years they've had this app. And if you're walking down the street and you see a pile of poop, human feces there, you can mark it on this map. And people eventually, it's just a solid brown map that everywhere in San Francisco, people
Oh,
have
my
poop.
gosh.
Mark it here, and he shows him the deal. This is your town. This is where this is one of your towns you run. This is markings for human feces. And what can he say?
That's
What can he say?
horrible, man.
What's he gonna do? Well, not all of them are human. Maybe some of them are dogs. You don't know. But yeah,
That's
look that up
hardcore.
about the way they cleaned that place up. It was crazy. It was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right.
That's hardcore.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
OGZ Ping, man, they gave him the royal treatment. He owns half of them.
Are you still up for Ramaswamy?
Yeah, I like Vivek. He's not gonna get anywhere, but I like his attitude.
No, come on. You know they're all freaking you know that they're all freaking snakes. Come on now.
Right. The only thing I can hope is he just kept saying that he'd shut the government down. He'd just get rid of all those departments, just mass layoffs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
dude,
you won't.
but
Come
then
on.
he would, but then like I listened to a bunch of, because I was thinking about him, and so I watched a bunch of his stuff and his videos, and the man's like talking about we need to open up more mental institutions. This is Ramaswamy. We need to open up more mental institutions, and we need and he brought up three medications up on a list, and he talked about how these medications.
And he
they
owns
need to
a
be-
pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, I know. I know all that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that ninja.
and think about it. Why do they need more mental institutions? You believe the earth is flat? You believe
Right, right.
you believe the Lord is already here on earth?
Yeah.
You think
What?
they're gonna come after us?
Come on, man.
You think
You
he'll
go.
come after us?
I do.
Yeah, man.
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go.
All I can say to that is y'all know very well that we had mental institutions all over this country, and nobody knows why. There were
Right.
so many huge mental institutions, not
Right.
just
Yeah.
little 10 people. There's hundreds of people,
Right.
and nobody knows why there were so many crazy people, right? Well, I contend that was the devolution and just mass confusion. People just didn't. They just couldn't understand
Handle.
anything, and the people in the know were like, "We got to put them away. They're going to start talking." I don't know the whole story, but that's my inclination.
Yeah, I
And
would say that's probably pretty accurate.
in the 70s, when they shut them all down and kicked all the people out in the streets, what are you going to do? What do you do? I mean, you kick them out on the streets and you close all the mental institutions and you go, what the hell happened? Where'd these people come from? There's crazy people out there. Are drugs the right answer? I don't know. But I know the pharmaceuticals aren't good for you, but we got to do something. We got to get these people off the streets. We got to get them
Right.
into safe environments and at least, give them 3 hots and a cot, keep them
Right.
off the street.
Right.
Right.
With what we send to other countries every year, we can take care of those people. That's not a big deal. But you got to weed out the real crazies from just the lazies. You got to figure out who's crazy and who's lazy, right? And you take the lazy and you make them be responsible. The crazies, we understand. But right now, what they're doing ain't working. What y'all gonna
No.
do? What's your answer? I mean, when in Big Spring, my hometown, we've had a state hospital there my whole life. And over the years, they're shutting down others and they're always trying to find a bed for these people and there's nowhere to go. Kathy at the hospital here, they got a grant from the state for $7 million to open up a whole new psych ward, like a 40-bed psych ward.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal down here. They got a lot of mental health issues, and their ER every day they get people with mental health things, just every day. And there's nobody to treat them. There's nothing. There's nowhere to put them.
Yeah, but it's like they're not. But they don't need to be in a mental hospital. Because it's not a chemical imbalance. It's a spiritual warfare. Oh,
Sure it is. We know that. But until churches step up and start opening, hospitals / psych wards / treatment centers, who's going to teach them that God is the way? All we got is healthcare. And at least they get them off the street. They get them talking, try and help them out, try and sort things out, get them off the street. I mean, that's better than leaving them there and going, hey, Jesus will help you. And they're,
no, they need to give them good counsel. Counsel of the Lord. I agree.
Unless churches start doing it, unless Christian people start being counselors and doctors and and psych ward nurses, we can want it all we want. So our only alternative is mental institutions where they get good treatment, really good treatment, not like the old days. Half the wing is being experimented on, the other half is being neglected. We ain't gonna do that. We can't do that. We know that model doesn't work.
They just feed them medication. Not
necessarily.
They do.
I've talked to Kathy and I've asked her about their approach, and I've pushed hard. You got to have homeopathic practitioners in there too. You've got to give people an alternative for natural healing or pharmaceuticals. You got to give people, good nutritional information versus just here, eat this hospital food type deal. So you got to give people these alternatives. They're out there now. They're not taboo anymore. You've got to open it up to your patients. You can't just put them on this one track of pharmaceuticals.
Right.
I've talked to her about that. Because I'm using a lot of natural stuff and she's using it and she sees it works.
Yeah, it does. I agree, man.
She does.
Like,
the simplest of things that she has latched onto and won't do without now is sleeping to the frequencies, the healing, immune boosting frequencies. She can't sleep without it now. And she credits it with keeping her healthy and not getting sick over the last 2 or 3 years.
Look at that, man. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing, Tommy.
So
just to hear
something like that in the psych ward where they play a soothing frequency over their speakers, very low. It doesn't have to be loud, just a healing 432 hertz frequency.
As long as they do the right frequency and they ain't doing some of their mind control.
Right, they have to do 432. The healing frequency that's just going to give people peace. If they just do one thing like that, that'll help. Right. Give these people those things to sleep to at night. You can give them frequencies like 518. that helps clear your mind and clear you of anxiety. You know, when I'm having bad anxiety, I'll turn that frequency on, man, and I just sleep. I sleep good through the night. So there's alternatives. There's alternatives. There's a way you can do it and do it right. And I'm hoping somebody like him, young enough and honest, hopefully they're honest brokers. He's not a politician yet. You know, that they go, no, we don't do it that way anymore. You know, we can't do that anymore. That's wrong. You know, we've proven that. You know, and like I said, if somebody like him was to get in and fire, you know, that many people he's talking about, Department of Education, Department of Interior, Department of, you know, the IRS, just go in and just mass layoffs. See ya. I mean, you can't go for that.
I don't trust him. I don't trust none of them.
Well,
It's
I like
hard
the
for
way he
me. It's
approached
hard
it,
for me to
though,
trust
Owen.
any of them.
But I like the way he approaches it, going, you cannot fire an individual in the government hardly. You can't hardly fire them. You know, you have to reprimand them a dozen times before you ever fire them. Well, you don't do that. Like he said, you go in and you say, this department, laid off. We'll call you. We'll call you. You just don't call ever again. You just lay them off. Legally, you can do that. He can do that, but he can't go through and henpick like Trump wanted to. He wanted to take these bad seeds in director positions and get rid of them, and he couldn't. He couldn't. He ran up against the bureaucracy, and he just couldn't get rid of them. They were too entrenched. But if you go in and lay off that whole department, see ya. End of story. I have no problem with that. And yes, he made his millions, billions in pharmaceuticals, and he was one of the only guys that was going against the DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda. He even wrote a book about how to defeat it in corporate level. You know, so he's against those guys. You can't fault him for that.
Well, I'm not saying, but I don't know for sure that he is. You know, it's possible that he's working with, like, because it seems that every single it just seems that they're all
He's
saying
going
the
pretty
same.
hard at people, though. If he was on an insider's agenda, sorry. If he was on an insider's agenda, I don't think he'd be going that hard. Because he's going hard. He's going real hard at old Nikki Haley. Have you seen any of those debates?
Well, I've watched a few debates.
He's going hard out. He told Chris Christie in that one last night. He's like, look, you know, I don't know why you're even here anymore. I don't know why you don't just walk off this stage. You know, you got nothing to offer. You know, your establishment, you're a neocon. Just why are you even here? You know, just smacking them. You didn't even have anything to say. And Chris Christie, you know, for the last 25 minutes, we've listened to him disparage Nikki Haley, and he's just like, shut up. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to you. He told him, shut up. Nobody wants to talk to you. So what do you do? And he defends Trump. He's like, Trump was doing a great job. I don't know why everybody's all after him. Everybody knows about the Russian hoax. Everybody knows. Everybody knows this is a witch hunt. You know, at least he's telling the truth on that stuff.
He does tell a lot of truth, but we hear ones that speak a lot of truth, and they got a whole lot of lies up in there too.
All I can say is the rest of them are establishment. He's not.
A Tim Ford. I know. I looked his name up, and it meant Ramaswamy, and it meant Lord Rama, Lord.
Yeah.
Or something Rama. It was giving praise to Rama from India, you know.
Right.
The
yeah, he's talked about how he's a Buddhist or a Hindu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but You know, he says he believes in the morals of Jesus Christ in the Bible, and he believes in that stuff. It's all. He said he'd enforce it. That the Bible and the morals it brings are very relevant in our society. We need more. We need family. We need God. We need community.
That's what Freemasons say. They're all about, all religions are one, and they all believe, in all the religions. So I just I know, man. I got my alerts up on him.
You're tainted.
I'm tainted. What? What did he say? What did he
You're
say?
so pessimistic. I can feel it.
You can feel it.
Other
I'm
than the Lord
tainted.
Jesus
I'm
Christ walk
pessimistic.
up and nobody but the Lord Jesus Christ will convince you that they're okay.
That's right. That's right. But you better show me, Lord, and He will. He'll let me know, or it doesn't matter, or it
But
just doesn't.
remember,
It won't. Matter.
we don't battle against flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we
Right.
battle
So it's
against
what's
these
coming through
principalities.
him. And I'm all about like the counsel of the Lord. If you got the Holy Spirit in you, then you are counseling others. And that's who needs to be, running the show, are the ones that have the Holy Spirit, who have the counsel of the Lord inside of them. The fruits of Jesus Christ, the counsel of the Lord. And
Not leading people to
Well,
Christ.
anybody that fits that description is never going to run for office.
yeah,
Right.
They're not. You're just
Right.
not going to get them. They have too many morals. They have conscience. You know.
Why would we put our faith in a man that doesn't profess Jesus Christ? I'm just saying.
Right. We don't, well, at this point, we don't have a choice. We don't put our confidence in them, but that's all they give us. How can you put confidence in them? We don't. Other people might, but we don't. You know.
most folks don't like when I say I do not. I am not an American. I
I
am
was
not
talking to my neighbor the other day
in the kingdom of
about
God
our
Almighty.
creek, right?
Yeah,
I was talking to him about our creek and how when they came over and dredged it a little and cleaned it up some, there were 5 brand new Ford 3/4 ton super cab pickups parked on my street. And all these guys in their nice blue jeans and cowboy boots and button down shirts, and about 10 other guys that were on a backhoe and a dump truck. And there were 2 guys working, one guy on the backhoe and another guy with a chainsaw. Everybody else was standing on my street, probably 12 other guys standing on the street, arms crossed, doing nothing, shooting the shit. And all those brand new pickups were bought by my tax dollars. All those guys. How many layers you got on, girl?
I told you, I had 3 robes on and a.
That looked like a cartoon. Another layer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's an example of bureaucracy at its worst. You know, you got these guys 100,000 plus a year salary, driving on a brand new truck, supervising, right?
Right.
One little bitty project, all making all this money. The top guy, I talked with him for like 20 minutes, and this is his 3rd county supervisor job in his life so far. He had 2 retirements from 2 other county supervisor jobs. He was starting on his 3rd one now. And yeah. And all you have to do is work 10 years and you can get a full retirement from these counties, and you leave that and go to a brand new one. And just around in this area. And this one right here at home, he finally is the last job he's going to take. And he's going to retire in a couple of years. And he'll have 3 retirement plans going.
Wow.
Isn't that a scam?
Retirement plans in 3 different counties.
I
Yeah, one of the
laughed
policies.
I
That
laughed
is.
at him and went. I laughed at him and said, "Which old boy from the old school taught you that move?
Yeah.
Somebody taught you that move."
Yeah, right. Somebody taught you that's what you should do. This is how you do it, son.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were at the other place when he got to that one. They're like, "When you're done, you're gonna come over here, and then you'll be the dog here. And once you're done with the dog here, we'll get you over here, Because I'd done it, that guy done it, and his before him had done it. Everybody done it, and they pick who gets it. Who gets it? You know, there'll be a guy coming behind him. You know, it's just the good old boy system.
Right.
You know,
It is.
And you know, how do you get them out? You can't get them out.
No. I mean, confirming what you're talking about, one of the policy enforcers when Jason was going through, you know, all the court stuff, one of the policy enforcers that I talked to actually said that he could retire if he he was talking that he really couldn't speak on these things because, you know, his retirement plan, he can't lose his retirement plan, and he'd be able to retire in a short, you know, it was less than 10 years, you know. I don't know how long it was, but I was surprised that all he had to do was work at this you know, county place for this amount of years, this small tiny amount of years, and he could be retired at the age of, you know, younger than 40 maybe.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Right.
And now find out that they can freaking go to this county, you know, do their retirement, get done with that, go to the next one and build up 3 retirement plans,
Yep.
4. Who
Yep.
knows?
Yep. I had a guy my brother's age in high school. He got a job as a mailman right out of high school. And in 15 years, he had a full retirement. He could take a full retirement. But the funny thing about this guy, he had a cush job, a mailman, right? Had retirement in his sights. He could get money and go on and do another job. He was actually an electrician. His dad owned an electrician business there in town. He got caught selling meth out of his post office truck. And yeah, a couple of friends saw the scene where he was on his route and he parked and he walked and, you know, put a little mail out, and he got in a car with his girlfriend, and they're sitting there hitting the pipe, and 10 cars come and surround them, and they're all federal from the post office. They've been watching him, investigating him for a while.
Dude.
He got off. Nothing happened. He lost his job, but he didn't lose his retirement or anything. And like a month after this, it's still pending. A month after this, 70 miles down the road in San Angelo, he passes out behind the wheel at a gas station, filling up his truck. He's so high on mushrooms. He had a freaking 10 ounces of mushrooms, and he gets popped for that. Nothing happens. He doesn't go to jail for any of it.
That news is an informer.
This all takes about a year to unravel, and he goes to work for an oil field company as an electrician and starts making more than he was making at the post office. And it's like nothing happened. So
Right.
I'd be under the jail. If that
Wow.
happened to me, I'd be under the jail.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't have even been able to give a chance to get away with the first one, let alone the first
But
one.
that's the government. That's the government and the union.
Yeah.
And the government. You can't hardly fire anybody in the government, no matter what they do.
Wow.
Perfect example. Emmett
that's-
Bartee. That's his name, Emmett Bartee, out in Big Spring. And oh my God, he looks like a hobo now. Oh my God.
Looks like a hobo now.
Oh, you should
Wow,
see him.
that's insane, man.
Oh, the guy looks rough. Last time I saw him, rough.
Nice.
Him and his ex-wife, who I knew her going to high school, they got strung out on meth for like a year, lost everything, and he had to move back in with his parents, and it was crazy. Some of these people.
System or the drugs
Oh,
itself.
yeah. But he got
Some
off.
people,
He got off of it. He got off of it, and yeah, as far as I
awesome.
know, he smokes weed, but he got off of it, got clean from it.
Got off the meth, huh? Well, that's good. Now he looks like a hobo. Well,
Oh, he looks terrible. Teeth all gone. Scraggly. He broke his ankle while he was strung out on meth, and never went to the doctor and had to have a reconstructive surgery on it. It was all sideways and messed up. He was walking on a club. That's what meth addicts will do, man. They'll just keep
oh yeah.
going. Just
Yeah,
keep
you
going.
can't be go. You can't go to the doctor. Oh my gosh! Like, no, they're watching you before you even get to the doctor. Somebody's looking at you. There's, that's what
But
a meth
you might
addict's
need
thinking.
to hit
Somebody's
while
already
you're in
seen
the
you.
doctor,
There's no way.
right? You
Well,
might need to hit the pipe while you're in there. And
yeah,
then what do you do?
that too.
Then you're losing your shit.
Ah, that is
Right?
true. That is true.
Isn't that
That is
true?
true. That is so
That's
true.
the risk you don't want to take, is that you get in a situation where you can't hit it.
Yeah,
Right? Think back. You weren't willing to go anywhere if there was a chance you wouldn't be able to hit it when you wanted.
that's true. No, that is a
Can't
fact.
take that risk.
Yeah,
That's how
no,
bad the addiction is. You just can't change it.
no, that is a fact, Jack. Yeah, you
Think
would
about all
not.
the times you refuse to go somewhere, do something because I might
Mhm.
need a hit here in a few minutes.
I
It's going
say,
to take me X amount of time to do that, and that's not going to work for me.
no,
Can't do it.
no, yeah, no, yeah. That's why you stay away from everybody,
Yep, that's why you
everything,
stay in.
and with meth addicts.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
wow!
that's
Speak of
true.
math, I found out. I read a deal the other day. I'd seen a video about it. That just 15 miles that way in Vidor, Texas, was one of the most racist places ever. It was terrible. They had skinheads, neo-Nazi group over there, and they were selling meth. They were meth addicts. Few people got murdered. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. It was the 80s until that town was finally desegregated. It was a deal where blacks didn't go to Vidor, and there's a lot of blacks around here,
Uh,
and it was a hotbed for white supremacists. It was
mm.
crazy. And I was talking to some locals about it the other day after I saw it, and they're, oh yeah, it was terrible, terrible. Yeah. So really, no, I never heard of that.
Well,
I'd
I
heard of
remember.
the incident in Jasper where those guys drugged that black guy down the street. Jasper's about 70 miles that way, 60 maybe.
What were they putting behind the car?
Yeah, remember that story? Jasper,
I-
Texas. See, I'd always heard of that, but I never heard of the Vidor stuff. The Vidor stuff was like 2013,
Oh,
2003 or 2013. Might have been
actually, I might have.
2003.
Come to think of it, I might have heard something along those lines because, or
It was
I
national
believe
news.
around
They,
that
they
time.
tried all the people in federal court. It made national news. It wasn't a state or a local trial. It was federal.
Well, come to find out, they still do white supremacist meetings down here at Montgomery Bell
Right.
State Park, and then but around the time that you're talking about is about the same time that the KKK here in White Bluff, they were I used to walk to work, and I'd walk, you walk by driveways, and in everybody's driveways started showing up these little rolled up papers, and and little bitty tiny things, and you pick them up, and I unrolled one, and it was a KKK meeting, and that if you wanted to be involved in it, contact them, and it had a
Really?
phone number on there. Yeah, yeah, I was stunned, and that was about the time that they were trying to take away the rebel flags around here, and
Right.
they had the people around here, they were flying them flags high. I mean, there was a rebel flag everywhere you turned. I mean, because nobody in this town was going to take that. Apparently, they're all about them flags. But yeah, I mean, the KKK still goes pretty strong here. And white supremacy that I know of, it's just, I mean, black folks, we don't, I'll see one working in the store, at the grocery store or at the dollar store, or we had a little couple. They were a sweet couple too, man. They made some fire food. They opened a little restaurant here years ago. I forgot about them, thinking about them. And one of the main guys here in town, he had
Yeah.
rented the place out to him. Don't know why he did it, because I maybe it was just to be mean, but he rented it out to them. Then he boosted their rent up right away, and forced them out. He went in and called them every name under the sun that you could possibly think of, and kicked them out. The very, probably just a few months after they opened up. But we don't have ones that come in and stay for very long, working in the stores and stuff.
Right.
And I'm always glad to see, because I think it's just, it's ridiculous, to have so much hatred. We're all children of the Lord God Almighty. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. He's got us sprinkled all over the earth, and you come from every nation. That if you're, from the kingdom of God, so they profess Christianity, here in these towns. I mean, we got like 4 churches in one little bitty town, and there's probably more that are on the back roads and stuff that I ain't thinking about,
Right.
just in one little bitty town. Well, where's the Jesus? Where's the love? Yeah.
It just clicks. It's clicks.
Mhm.
It aren't churches. They're
Mhm.
cliques.
Right.
They're groups. They're organizations, but they're not churches. There are a lot of
Mhm.
things, but they're not churches.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
neighbor across the street is a black guy, blockhead. I was over talking to him yesterday, and he's getting a medical retirement from the company he worked for here. He worked at the paper mill, and he's having medical problems, and he's getting a medical disability in retirement, and he took all the rounds of the jab. He took them all, and I showed him a couple of things about that, and he's like, "You got to be kidding me!" I'm like, "Nope."
Oh,
You,
and didn't even know
and that
it.
but he didn't have a choice. That company was they were one of the ones that mandated you do it or you lose your job. So he did it.
No, so many are forced, so many, and it sucks, because you want to see your family members, you want to, but people would go and get them just so they could see their family members in a nursing home or in the hospital. They would, they weren't,
It was
they're just
crazy.
ruining themselves. Right, it is. They force us to believe and take what they want us to have, what they want us to believe. Everything the government, and it's all governments. It ain't just the United States government. It's all governments.
No,
They're
it's
all
all
working together. It's all a brotherhood. Like you talking about the cliques. Well, that's what the governments are. They're all cliques. They're a big clique.
What I don't understand is how they're still running ads for the jab saying it's safe and effective. We now have it for 5 years and under. Why would anybody
Mhm.
go do it now unless they're completely oblivious to the whole story? They only see one half of it and they refuse the other side. That's the only thing I can think of. They just
Right.
refuse to listen to the other side. That no, I trust medicine so much that nothing will convince me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like
It
my
is.
video being taken down the other day, all I did was tell the truth about what the guy said.
What
That's what
were you talking about? Oh, never mind. We don't want to get this video took down.
he put it out, but he put it out on the internet as a PDF. Other people have downloaded it. Other people are talking about it. They're showing the numbers. And he got arrested and was bonded out yesterday. In
Who?
the Netherlands. They arrested the guy.
This guy that put out a PDF of what?
Of all the medical records of people who took it over there in the Netherlands, and showed a huge problem, a big problem.
Oh,
A big problem. People cashing in their chips after a week. You know, I
oh.
only want to hardly. I don't want to say it. 'Cause
Right,
they'll
right,
throw
right. Okay,
video.
right. I'll look it up myself. I'll look it up. And
He's
do
all
my
over
own
right
research.
now. He's going viral.
Yeah, that's
He's
good.
everywhere, and the numbers are bad. They don't want it out at all. So yeah, go check that out. It's pretty scary. And other places are coming out with it too. There's several doctors out there. One guy that was in Europe a month or two ago gave a great speech. I think I linked it on one of my videos, and he's had a couple of different conferences where he said straight up that, you know, this was an agenda. There was no reason to do what they did other than an agenda. Excuse me.
Right.
You know,
And
he's public enemy number one with these people because he's going everywhere telling the whole truth. He's bringing out the documentation all the way back from 1965.
that's awesome.
He's bringing it all out. He has all the receipts.
Man,
They even had a deal where they said the the first batch that got tested was not what got sent out. And he said what got sent out was totally different than what got tested. That's what that guy said. Disclaimer, that was in a speech, that was in a talk that a medical professional said. They took 10 vials and said, here, test this. And they ran trials and tested those. And they went, okay, you're good to go. And they went, great. And then they took whole other batches and sent out.
Okay, I thought that's what I thought you meant. I just wasn't sure. Yeah. Right. I don't want to
There's
say
been
too
several
much.
people uncover that. There was one guy that a doctor he knew saved every vial from everyone he gave. And they went back, and what little bit was still in the vials, you know, there's always a drop or two in there. And they took it and tested it, and it had all kinds of stuff in it. Stuff that shouldn't have been there. It was crazy. You can look that one up too.
Right.
But that's just wow. When you see that kind of stuff, and then you hear that doctor come out and just say straight up, they knew what they were doing.
Right.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
You know that they're the lies. They're just lies.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I love you, Tommy. Hey,
the whole process of lockdowns, all those doctors that got got censored, that sorry, that's now proven, you know, through those Twitter files, and they're finding more stuff in the Twitter files that the government was doing. That's just crazy, you know. A freaking virologist, epidemiologist, you know, from Stanford University, one of the top guys in the field, comes out and starts going, wait a minute, guys, we need to look this over. And they go, boom, shut him down. One of the top guys.
Right.
And they're like,
right.
whoa, what's going on? Oh, yeah, disinformation. He hasn't seen what we know. And Fauci, God, I hope he goes to jail. Oh man! If anybody ever deserved it, it would be him.
Yeah. The Lord convicts him. I hope the Lord puts him in his place.
Have you seen how little that dude is?
No.
He can't be much more than 5 foot tall.
He's a tiny little guy.
Oh yeah, he's a little feller, little bitty dude. And oh my God, what a psychopath!
That
he is. A lot of people have said he could go down in history as the most prolific serial killer ever.
I believe it. I believe that. Freaking
when you go all the way back to the 80s and what he had to do with AIDS, and then what he had to do with other jabs throughout his career.
Yeah.
The guy's the Clintons ain't got nothing on him. Right? The Clintons could only hope to be that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude. Okay.
So are you still
So-
working?
Yeah, I'm fixing to go to a job and Jason's in his shop.
Hey, hey, y'all got my phone number now. Send me some
No.
pictures of the other
Where's your
guitar.
phone number? Did you give it to us? Did you give us
Yeah.
your phone number?
Yeah. So
You
send
gave
me
it to
some
Jason?
pictures of that guitar he's got done, that $500 one.
Uh-huh.
To Kathy and tell her I'm gonna get one of these for Christmas.
Okay. All right. I'll let him know. Okay, send you some pictures. And what you sure we got your number?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave it to him.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I love you.
All right, sweetie. Y'all be careful.
Okay. Shalom.
Take care, Jason.
Oh, he in the shop. He can't hear a daggum thing.
Oh, okay. Y'all
Bye-bye.
be good. All right, everybody. Love y'all. Good discernment. Good vibrations. Later.